Hello, and welcome to Cornucopia Cast episode, I don't even know.
6.
Alright.
6?
It is 6.
Wow.
I've been keeping track.
It's the
Why?
patriotic cast. Woo! Happy 4th
we're-
of July.
Yeah, we're recording on the 4th,
Yep. Because it's a Saturday.
but it will get uploaded on the 6th.
It's fine.
Yes, sir.
Which is, I think, when the actual Declaration of Independence was...
I think it was sometime in September.
September.
Yes.
No, I think it was still in July.
I don't
No,
remember
it-
what happened on the 4th, but I'm pretty sure it took until the 6th for it to actually go through.
I think something later got done in September. It was weird.
Yeah, duh,
But that's not what we're
They
here
just
to
told
talk
the rest
about.
of the world that they were independent, so fuck off.
That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to, do our thing.
Yep.
So I think last week we didn't introduce ourselves, so we had at least 100 comments going, who the fuck's talking right now?
I very much doubt that.
I mean, did you...
I've made 100 fake accounts.
Yeah. I also made like maybe 6.
Only 6?
Yeah.
That's weak, man.
I gave up after
That's
6.
weak, Aaron.
I gave up after 6, okay? I tried
So,
my best.
that's Aaron, I'm Aaron, that's Jacob, that's Phil.
They don't know where you're
That
pointing.
does not help.
They don't
You
know
know
where
what?
you're pointing.
Shut your fucking mouth, Aaron. Because when you pointed last week, you went like, whoa.
Yeah, Aaron, listen to the other Aaron.
Oh, God.
I still love you, brother.
No, you don't. Nobody loves me.
No.
That's why I get bullied every week.
That's why we fucking make a fight of your goddamn games.
You're not going to like me today.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, how's everybody's week's been going?
Shitty. That's all I got to say. Is that... Okay, no, it's actually not fine.
Well,
You know what, we'll let Aaron start this week.
yeah. Aaron's never started before.
I don't think I've ever actually started. All right,
Well,
we've had
hang on. Let me get the timer going. I don't trust you.
Well, you should have been ready, man.
No.
You're slacking today.
No, we don't get ready on
Oh, he's
time.
counting right now. You better go.
Okay, well, I've had an ongoing developing story about my bed. Guess what? My bed has arrived.
Woo!
Thank God.
But I have a story about it. Guess what?
Oh, God.
They told me it was going to be there between 2 and 4. I get off of work at 2 o'clock, so I was like, okay, I'm going to rush home. Guess what? They were early.
Oh, they just let sit down in the front?
They got there at 12:30. I get a call at work, and they're just like, hey, we're a little ahead of schedule today. We're here to deliver your bed. And I'm just like, that's pretty shitty. I was like, normally that'd be awesome if I was home, but no, I'm at work right now.
You know what you should have done? You should have ordered something from where you work at and go to deliver to your address.
Somebody had to be there. Thankfully, my mom was, but she really couldn't observe. And if somebody's going into my bedroom where all my personal belongings are, I kind of want to observe.
Did you at least take your Playboys out from under your mattress?
Who the fuck still reads Playboys?
Well, I don't, but
Yeah, but the bed got there and everything.
Can I just say, I'm glad the storyline of your bed has finally been resolved. This has been the longest arc of this entire podcast.
The best part is that
Could write a book.
something has happened every time it's come up. There's been something new.
I'm just glad this whole storyline, this whole entire arc is finally wrapped up, and I can't wait to hear about your next arc.
I'll have something new every week. Alright. What else did I do this week? Played some Hyrule Warriors. It's a good game. Played some Pokemon. Yeah.
Is that not a good game?
What?
Pokemon. You didn't say it was a good game or anything. You just said you played it.
he's finally at the
Pokemon
point of
Sword and
300
Shield.
hours going, this
Yes,
game fucking sucks.
but
You would be surprised how many people do that with games.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sword and Shield is fine.
Yeah.
it's serviceable.
It is a Pokemon game.
We've had this debate before, but
It's like pizza. It doesn't really matter. It's pizza. You'll eat it.
I also think I told you guys this in the group chat, but I had a scare where I thought my Xbox broke because I heard a huge static where it was plugged in at, and it turns out the power brick where the ventilation goes through went out because it's also very old and it sounded like a jet engine. So I had to get that replaced, and I'm just glad it was $40 instead of having to buy a whole new console, especially so close to the next gen launch.
I would have just waited at that point.
Yeah.
I would have just been like, well, I've got Hyrule Warriors.
See, but I use my Xbox for everything else, like YouTube.
Pornhub. I don't use Playboys.
Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, all that stuff. But yeah, It was a mixed bag for a week.
Fun.
That was my week. Who would like to go next?
I love Hulu next.
Well, all right. I actually played multiple games this week, which is
Gasp.
unusual. I started out playing Pokemon. I got my Hydra going up to level 100, which still wasn't a one. It still wasn't. I used XP candy, so I still don't quite count it. So right now I'm working on Skarmory, who I have only leveled on wild Pokemon because I'm being weird. You would be surprised what Skarmory can do with body press.
Yeah.
That almost sounds like a Facebook ad right there. You wouldn't believe what happens
No,
at number 9.
Right. Well, 140 defense used as base attack is pretty powerful.
Or
So-
Pornhub ad. We're still talking about that.
You're still thinking about porno. We all moved on.
You won't last 30 seconds.
That was it. The last 30 seconds my Skarmory body press.
Don't let your friends find out about this.
Don't.
Oh, God.
Don't. Oh. All right. Yeah. So, pressing your body against Skarmory aside, I also played. I got back into Doom Eternal because I've been watching a playthrough of it, and I was like, you know what? I should play and beat that game. And I'm like, how should I beat it? Should I put it down at a lower difficulty, or should I be a jackass and turn up the difficulty and play through the levels I've already played? Of course, I went through with option 2.
Yikes.
So I'm playing it on ultraviolence and getting my ass kicked, but I'm learning. And God forbid I ever beat this game because, goddamn, it is way more difficult than the last one. And finally, I got hands-on with Indivisible. That is a very strange RPG for me. I love playing it. I love fighting. I love platforming. I think the story is bland and undercooked and on a race from plot point to plot point instead of trying to get there. Like there's no side quests.
There's side quests. They come up later.
Oh, okay. Well, there's no side quests yet.
It's all endgame stuff.
The map, I finally got to the map, and it's the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. It's just a square. And every place you're going to go is a square. And I'm like, I almost wish they didn't show me the map, because then I could have pretended it looked better. But, I do like certain characters. I love that everyone shits on Dar, because everyone should. And I hope they continue until the end of the game.
I can't believe Dar is the Brennan of that game.
Dude, it's kind of satisfying, and yet he's the character I like using the most. But he's also a piece of shit. So, the main character's great. I think she's got a really excellent voice actress. Every so often things come through a little clunky. Certain characters just aren't great. The tiger girl with the fucking dead tiger on her. Rosmi, awesome as a foil, and that's about it. I don't think she has a character other than that. Otherwise, I'm kind of just like, I don't know. Shield Girl's cool, but she's just got there's a lot of revenge boners going on in this game. Not as big as Berseria, but a lot of revenge boners. You got the main character who satisfies her revenge boner, and then things go even worse. Shield Girl. I mean, you could pretend that female human Blastoise is. Her cannons are lame as shit. I was so disappointed.
I just want to say, I like how the two of us know what you're talking about, and then the Aarons are just over there like, oh, yes.
There's
female Blastoise, I gotcha.
I don't know what female Blastoise is.
Well, there's a
Pornhub?
There's a
What? That doesn't make sense.
It's probably on there.
more like DeviantArt.
It's probably there too.
Yeah, but no, it's a pirate girl, red costume with 2 cannons on her back. You would think it would be my thing, but her cannons only shoot out coins, so I was kind of disappointed. She doesn't shoot them at anybody.
But it is a golden shower.
Sure. I don't use her. I used her once, and I was like, I'm good. Went back to Shield Girl, because I need 2 characters that can consistently break card. Anyway, the game's fun. It just requires a lot of brain energy, because you have to pay attention to so much. Like, blocking at the right time is probably the most draining thing, because I actually have to pay attention to when attacks are hitting. It's very fighting gamey, which, of course, since it's made by Lab Zero, makes sense. But yeah, design is on point. I love the aesthetic. I love the gameplay. I just have problems with everything else. But I've still been playing through it, so, I think that speaks volumes. So, and other than that, to follow up on my story from last time from the girl at work, she, for some reason, decided to sit in a spot across from me and break, which was fucking weird. Anyway.
Well, she wants you.
Probably not.
Before we move on, you had thanked somebody on Twitter for suggesting Indivisible. But somebody else in this room has been trying to get you to play it, so I think you should
No, he said more along the lines of, it's interesting, you probably should play it. He didn't push it.
And then he only thanked Lab Zero for making it.
Oh, is that who you thanked?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't follow. I just saw that, I'm like, Jacob has an ongoing joke.
I don't have an ongoing joke. You have an ongoing joke.
Where Jacob will recommend a game to somebody.
You're talking about my curse.
Yeah, where Jacob will recommend something. Go, you know, Brennan, I think you'll like this game. And Brennan goes, no, I won't.
Well, that's
and then
Brennan.
his brother will say, hey, the same game that Jacob said. And then Brennan will be like, I love this game. It's like,
yes, one of the big things was he was adamant about not watching One Punch Man.
Of course.
And for like 2 years, I was like, yo, just watch it. It's like 12 episodes. You'll be done in an afternoon. And we never
that was before season 2 was.
And we'll never have to talk about this ever again. So one day his brother comes in and says, hey, you should watch One Punch Man. And then he watched it. And it was his favorite thing.
And he made his profile picture on PlayStation and everything.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
really
but
funny.
to be perfectly fair, and to break the joke, I did play it because he recommended it.
Okay.
So.
And I didn't realize those Lab Zeros. Like I just saw your tweet.
Somebody, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I'm definitely gonna get Phil shit for this.
It was just it finally. I was just sitting around with nothing to do, and I'm like, I kind of want to touch Indivisible just to know.
So did you buy it physically or digitally?
Digitally.
And you got it on the Switch, right? Okay.
Because it plays really well in handheld.
Physically at GameStop.
You got it on the one that they didn't know
that
they
would
were putting
require
it
me
there.
to go into a GameStop and buy something.
You looked right at it, you picked it up, and Jim's like, yeah, you'll like that.
I think it's also at the other one too.
It was funny. You were so excited to play Tales of Besarria. You bought it for $60 digitally, and then we went to our game store and you saw it there for $20. And you're like,
Oh, and you know what the real icing on the cake is?
Yes.
There's 20 copies of the game.
Not even that. On the PlayStation Store where you bought it, it is now $20.
Dude, that
no.
reminds me of a story when I bought War of the Monsters on PlayStation 2.
That game's fantastic.
I love that game. Game came in broken, and then within a week, and this is before I knew much.
No, it wasn't within a week. It was literally the same day you got the physical copy. They had put it on the PS3.
On the PS3?
Yeah, digitally.
Huh.
I was like, well, this is fucking bullshit. So
I have it on my PS4 because they put it on there.
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hell, yes, I get it. It needs 4-player co-op. That's the only thing that game's missing.
oh, yeah. It was only 2-player on the first. Yeah, they should
It was.
remake it and make it better.
I'd be down for that, but
I'll go next. I don't got much to say. Still playing Last of Us 2. Listen to our Cornucopia bros. We ranked the games, all games we played so far this year.
There were a few honorable mentions.
Phil actually made a cameo, but he didn't come down.
oh yeah.
I was waiting for you to come down, and I was like,
Well, because I was like, what's going on? And I kind of listened, and I'm like, that sounds podcasty. I'm not gonna just jump in at the middle of the podcast.
oh, you can just run down and go, yo, I'm over here.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, you can listen to my thoughts on there. Got to a boss fight, and if you like playing as Joel in the first game, you'll love playing as Abby in the second game. I'm just gonna say it.
As who?
As Abby.
You're talking about Last of Us 2, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you said that or not.
I did say Last of Us. I said if you like playing Last of Us.
Oh, well, whatever.
Who's Abby?
She's the second.
I'm gonna add in that I did look up a whole spoiler review of this game. And
Okay.
it's fucking terrible. I'm just gonna say I played the first one and I will never.
You're
play the
just
second
saying
one.
that as an Xbot!
No, I'm not. I'm not. I played the first one and I think the second one is absolutely terrible. Like gameplay, it might
I mean,
be
I'm
alright.
honestly in the same boat.
Gameplay might be alright, and I'm not gonna say spoilers. But if you like the story and experience of the first one, you will not like the second one. You won't. You
They
absolutely.
really
won't.
go out of their way to make Ellie look like an asshole.
Yes, they do. I'm not gonna, because if people are watching this, I'm literally just gonna say,
this. That's why.
yeah, that's what but like, I'm not gonna get into spoilers, but you literally will hate a lot about the second one if you really are passionate.
Which is
and love
funny
the first one.
because I actually like playing as Abby, even though I think her story is is a lot better.
She's such a bitch, though.
Well, yes and no.
Like, I mean, her character is so hard to like. They make the new characters really hard to like. There's maybe like a few likable ones.
I actually liked. I guess spoilers from here on out. I liked Owen.
Yeah.
Too bad. Okay, I'm just gonna say the death scenes absolutely suck in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're not enjoyable. They're like, hey, this character, and then is really cool, and then gets shot in the face, and that's the last of the fucking character.
So would you say that's the last of them?
That's the last of us. The only thing else is this was actually last week, but I forgot to mention it. I got my first win in Fortnite with Brennan, so that was fun.
I was gonna say the first one ever.
No, I think I'm on like 8 solos, 20-some duos, 40-some squads.
When I played it, I could win duos and squads way more than I could.
Well, we
win
should
solos.
play sometime. It's your favorite game.
No, it's really not.
And that's about it. So,
Wow. That was quick.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
I
paused.
didn't watch any anime this week, so
Yeah, I paused it a lot.
Yeah,
because
when
a
I-
lot of us were starting to talk over him. and I don't
Yeah,
want-
it's because I had.
I was actually gonna
stuff
say,
said
it's like
on
you don't have
this.
to pause it because I don't really have that much to say.
I know. I just wanted to kind of be fair.
I get you.
All right, so I think it's the first time I've actually gone last in this.
Yeah. Usually it's me.
Jib's like, and that's all I got.
So I actually took notes on things that I did this week. I finished up Owlboy. That was a hoot.
You know he wrote that down. He's like, I got.
I actually didn't write it down because I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna draw attention to it, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah, well. It's too late.
So yeah, Owlboy is a game that happens. So last week when I was talking about it, I wasn't like, I think I was probably about the midway point, and it kind of sucks near the end game. Because there's a lot of optional things. Oh, not really optional. There's one optional like race thing, and it sucks. It's the worst. It is just. It feels bad to play. And then one of the bosses also feels bad because the screen's doing the whole mode 7 thing where it like shifts, and your controls shift as the screen is shifting. And it's like, oh, don't hit the walls, but we changed the controls on you, so maybe you might hit the walls. And yeah. So that was that. I've been playing the Lego Ninjago game because that was free for some reason. It's a Lego game. Who would have thought? It feels exactly like Lego Star Wars.
Oh boy.
And then the other thing I did is I watched 2 Ultraman movies, Ultraman X and Ultraman Ginga. And so I learned a bit about Ultraman through those. Is that there is no just like one Ultraman. It's just a whole bunch of them.
So
It's
they're Ultramen.
Yes.
It's just like why I find the title misleading, because it sounds like there's only one.
So it's basically like Transformers and Power Rangers put together. I say Transformers because there's just a whole planet of Ultramen, and they're just there. And then there's also one evil Ultraman.
Of course.
And then I think the Power Rangers is kind of self-explanatory since it's cheesy explosions.
I love the Power Rangers.
And it's definitely just like some dude with like, well, I guess a lot of it was like CG'd. but man, you can tell it's something else. I watched it in English, which was probably not the smartest idea, but I did have subtitles on, and I would like to share a few of them out of context.
God.
So, glass crashing aggressively.
Okay.
Lasers beaming.
Oh, God.
Foreign language music. Strikes booming. Victory grunts / victory hisses.
This is a dub, right?
Yes, this was dubbed.
I was like, is this dub or is this like subbed?
It was dubbed, and these were the subtitles.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
Okay, so
Victory grunting sounds...
So I want to clarify that one. I wrote it down before I knew that the Ultraman was named Ultraman Victory.
Oh.
But I thought it was funnier than hell because I'm like, what the fuck does a victory grunts mean?
Yeah.
What are victory hisses?
The hisses was the one that was like...
And it's really bizarre and stupid. Like, I'm just really glad they're short.
How do you hiss positively?
I don't know. But, yeah, so... The Ultramen are really dumb. Just... They don't stay on Earth despite staying on Earth or something like that. 'Cause, like, X was like, hey, I gotta go leave. And then they're like, so there's another guy coming. And X is like, well, I'm back.
Yeah.
And, the only Ultraman that's referred to as Ultraman is the Ultraman. He was the first one, apparently. At least that's what the back of the box said. There's like 6 of them on Earth at one point. They're still there. They had to fight the giant, not Godzilla.
Okay, so there's multiple of them, but then there's one that's called the Ultraman?
Yes.
So there's the original one.
Yes, he's just called the Ultraman. And
That's
he
very confusing.
and he just shows up. The other thing I want to talk about with Ultraman is the fact that it's not the person becomes Ultraman, they just kind of reside inside of him. So
is their dad.
So, you know in Power Rangers where they get in the Zords and whatnot, they're controlling it.
Yes.
It's they do that. But the Ultramen are also sentient, and they can just do whatever. Because like, one of them just is like, hey, small child, get inside me.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go fight a monster.
That's not problematic.
And so, yeah, no, it just absorbs the small child. Oh, man. But yeah, no, he just absorbs the small child, and that's it. Ultraman is fucking bizarre.
Oh
I love it. I would recommend them. Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Alright. Jesus.
Well, should we get into ranking?
Well, we gotta explain the games.
Yeah.
And why we picked them.
So we have 6 again this week.
Because it's a special.
Because we couldn't weasel out one of them.
I mean, I could have done without one of them.
Well, it didn't sound like that last week when we were picking them.
I made very clear I was willing to drop Call of Duty.
I was.
Oh, was it? Okay, maybe one of you. I don't know. I mean, that was...
Funny enough, that's not the one I gave my -5.
Probably the one I gave 5 to.
Or maybe I did. Who knows? What?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
Well, I might have said something, but not.
Oh god, the one we have to start with. Alright, well...
Assassin's Creed should be first.
Well, we should explain why we picked them, right?
Weren't we doing that?
Yeah, we gotta explain the games first.
We never explained why we picked them. We just said, hey, we've got 6 of them.
Okay, it's a special because today's the 4th of July, and we're like, what better thing to do than to pick 6 games which we believe represent being patriotic, depending on how you view that.
Yeah.
Some of them... Okay, most of them, yes. One of them...
I swear to God, you shit on
I don't know, man. Wait, what did you cough?
I heard what he said, and I was just like...
Did you really cough Far Cry 5?
No!
No,
Okay,
I heard what he said, and I'm thinking... No? Not that one.
Yeah, anyway.
So,
That one specifically.
like I said, we're doing 6, so we've added 2 points to each of us. So.
Just like the Dad Day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Yep.
Is that the one with Octo Dad?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
wild, isn't it?
The one that...
That fucking Phil shit on.
it was a little...
That's what it was. It was Octo Dad and Naughty Bear.
Oh, don't worry. I picked out a good one this time.
So
I
did
did
I.
one I gave it 5 to.
If you give this game a 5, I will take issue with that. I'm sorry.
Well, let's do this game. What game are we
All right. Well, Assassin's Creed 3 is the first one.
Oh, I didn't give a 5 to that. I'll be honest.
Well, we gotta explain it.
I didn't say that was the one I gave a -5 to.
Yeah, it's just the first alphabetical one.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So, Assassin's Creed 3 was the one that's supposed to take place in America. You play as a Native American.
Not yet. It's not American yet.
No, it is America.
It's America.
It's
It's
America
not,
trying to become America.
it is
No,
just
it's
not the
referred
United
to as
States.
America.
It's just not the United States.
It's the colonies.
Either
But
second
it's in
closest
America.
one-
They called it America.
Isn't this the second closest one to 2000 or is this
2011?
I don't know.
Well,
Or
no,
2012.
no. He's asking, is this the most like in the
Or
Assassin's
is it-
Creed timeline? Is this the most
or is
recent
it,
one?
No,
Yeah,
that's
like
Syndicate.
Syndicate? That's what.
Oh, it's
Syndicate was
right.
industrial. What's that called?
Industrial Revolution.
Yes. Well, no.
Yes.
Yes. It was in the 1800s.
Yes.
Oh man, I thought it was the 19.
It's like 18.
I thought it was like 1912 or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like
The Industrial
But I-
Revolution
I didn't play
took place
Syndicate.
around the same time as the American.
I was like, is that a revolution? I was going to say industrialization, and I was just like, yes, and then no, and then yes.
I didn't play Syndicate, so I was under the pretense that it happened in the early 1900s.
I got bored of it. Like, halfway
But we're not.
through, and
We're
I was-
not here to talk about Syndicate.
Yes.
Yes.
We're here to talk about 3.
we're trying to
Which-
do better and talk about the same
which
game.
which was
Order.
Yes. So
I should buy one of those.
Gamble.
let's not.
Is 3 and Liberation the same game, or those like?
No.
It's a DLC.
Okay.
No, it's
I
not.
thought
It's
it
not
was a separate
DLC.
game.
It has a great DLC.
It's a
though.
PS Vita game that.
Oh,
got,
okay,
that-
so Liberation's
that
the
became-
standalone.
That became DLC.
It has a great
later on.
DLC where George Washington becomes a tyrant.
How was that great?
It's not great. It's a game. It's a great game. Like expansion.
Okay, if you say so.
All right.
It's great gameplay. That's what I meant to say.
So,
Great story.
Does anybody have anything to say about the game?
I do. You're
Okay.
literally half Native American,
which is awesome.
half American offspring kid of a Templar and a Native American mother. Templars, for if you haven't played Assassin's Creed, Templars believe in freedom through power and control. Assassins essentially believe in freedom through peace. That's
As
the way
they
it works.
murder,
Stabbing.
as they murder indiscriminately.
They murder people
They don't
who
murder-
oppose.
Not the way I play.
Not. Oh, okay. Well, that's
They
different.
murder bad people, essentially.
That's what you hope they do, unless you play like chicken.
They took, in all fairness, they took that out of later Assassin's Creed games.
That's bullshit.
You can't murder just any innocent civilians anymore.
I want to assassinate.
Yeah, but
It is in my name.
did you kill the dogs and cats?
The kid's name is Connor. Kenway.
To be fair, I've never played an Assassin's Creed.
That's if you're gonna play Assassin's Creed, play.
Oh wait, no,
Origins.
I played Black Flag.
And 3 isn't even one of the
bad.
best ones. Just gonna say that. It's
No,
probably
it's
one of the lower, under average ones. I think the story drags out. Eventually, you're pretty much fighting alongside of the rebelling Americans against the British. You take place in historical events like the Boston Tea Party. What are other historically American Revolution battles that you take place in that game? Do you know?
I don't. It's been way too long. I do know at one
You can
point.
shoot a musket.
Woo!
Yes, I do know at one point you're infiltrating a camp that George Washington is in,
Yeah, I know he's in the game.
but I don't remember the context.
I remember eventually in the game you have to fight alongside your dad and to kill him.
Fun.
Because he's the Grand Master of the Templar Order.
Great job,
in that
Pop
game.
Pop. Great job.
Yep.
You could at least try to sound interested.
Is Pop Pop British?
I don't know.
I don't know. In my opinion, it's.
My
I
family-
bought the remaster. I didn't buy it because it came with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I didn't think the game aged well. Personally, I didn't really care for the remaster. I only played it a little bit and quit halfway through. But
It's fair.
not a terrible game. Has a really good story. Like the story had a good idea, but I don't think it got executed that well. It has like the worst assassin, in my opinion, out of all of them.
I love the tomahawk. I love bits and pieces, but the game just didn't hold my interest.
It added like the best climbing, I think, to the game. Like you can climb through trees and shit.
Oh yeah, and that was like the wait, when did that game have the rope dart?
Yes, where you can hang people from trees.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's dark.
Spider-Man.
You gotta remember though, lynching actually came from that era. It was it was about people who supported the revolution hanging people who supported British occupation.
You get a free slaves. That might be the third one or the fourth one. I don't remember.
I don't know.
I get those two mixed a few times because it's.
It sounds like we don't know what we're talking about anymore.
To be fair,
let's
let's
just throw some arbitrary numbers at it.
In Assassin's Creed 4, you play as Connor's grandfather. So.
Yeah, let's just throw some arbitrary numbers at it.
Okay.
Who wants to start?
I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 3.
I see what you did there.
That wasn't intentional.
I also gave it a 1.
I gave it a -5.
Well, all of that hard work.
Because...
Is that 0?
Yes.
Yeah, this is 0.
Because...
I'm actually not mad. It's not that great of an Assassin's Creed game.
I was so excited for that because I love the American Revolution. I love everything about it. And especially at the time. And I had played Assassin's Creed 1, like I touched that game, and I was really into it. But I didn't own it. And then I played through 3, and then I started playing 3, and I was just bored.
The first one's really underrated, in my opinion. I don't know why everybody hates the first one.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the first one. It's a template for what it makes it good.
It's aged. It hasn't aged good, but I still think it's good.
Yeah. Alright, so that's a 0 for Assassin's Creed 3. Some people are going to be mad.
Me, but I thought it'd probably get at least a 5.
I mean, it did get a 5 until Phil nuked it.
Yeah. I totally nuked it.
I wish we had animations. Have Phil's faces come in. And just
Boom!
Give him the gavel.
Might as well. Alright, well, let's move on to Call of Duty World at War.
Ooh.
I only care about Call of Duty World at War because it leads into Black Ops. And
Really?
I love the Black
World at
Ops
War is
story.
better than Black Ops, though.
I love the story of Black Ops.
You gotta play at both theaters.
Remember, we're not here to talk about Black Ops.
I know, but it does matter because it leads into that story.
Yeah.
Which
I'm more or less just telling that to him.
Talk about the greatest character in that game, Reznov.
He's cool. Yeah, I like him a lot. But I love how interesting the story is in Black Ops. But anyway, Call of Duty World at War is pretty cool because you get to play both fronts, and it is very fascinating to see that from both sides. Especially since it's the first game the first Call of Duty game I can remember where you actually had choices.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, because the way it gets reflected in the way you get talked about in the Russian campaign. There are very specific little bits and pieces where you can choose to execute.
I remember, like, you had to time your sniper shots with Reznov during the Thunder when you're trying to escape from the Germans.
Well, there's one where he makes a comment about your treatment of the Nazis during the entire game, and that's based on certain things that you do.
I think you get to make choices, but I don't think they reflect the story.
They only get reflected in Reznov talking about you.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Because that didn't happen until, again, we're not going to talk about Black Ops 2, but it didn't happen until Black Ops 2. To where your choices impacted the story.
Oh, yes. But, yeah, so...
My favorite thing from the game was Nazi zombies. I played the shit out of Nazi zombies.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's literally the best form of Nazi zombies was that. Probably some of the best multiplayer game modes I've ever played. Nazi zombies.
I wish I had remembered that.
So I think I played the PS2 version of this game.
It's completely different.
Because I think there's 2 of them that came out.
Yes.
And one was like, this is for your downgraded system. And then if you want to play this one... So
yes, the PS2 and the DS.
Did that come out on the DS?
It did.
Of course it did.
I had a friend who played it at lunch.
Probably the Wii.
Is that Eric?
Yes. He played it at lunch. It looked like it was awful. It had touch controls.
Of course it did.
But the only thing I really liked about Call of Duty, this was before I kind of got off the Call of Duty train, was just I love the historical it's not historically accurate, but
they don't have that anymore either. That's the thing I hate.
It's just kind of, I don't want to say cool, but going through Germany and stuff, seeing the destruction of what war caused. So
that's what World at War had too. It really showed how dark World War II was, because it's like it was the deadliest conflict in human history.
Well, should we...
on that somber note, let's hand out our numbers.
Yeah, let's throw some arbitrary numbers on it.
I gave it a 0.
I gave it a 5.
Wow.
I also gave it a 0.
I gave it a 2.
Oh wow, it's a fucking
good.
7.
We got another 7.
Good. I
God.
have a feeling. We'll take note. If we do 6 games, how many 7s come out of 6 games?
We're giving 2 more points.
Yeah, we had 3 fucking 7s in the last one. I'm terrified. Alright, now we move on to the crown jewel of our list. Cruisin USA.
Alright, so this game is incredibly patriotic because you get to experience the beautiful land of America in like 7 different exotic locales.
It's literally just in the name, that's it.
No, you can drive around America. It's fair enough to appreciate...
What's more patriotic than driving through America?
I mean, you get to drive through
really big
the
place.
Redwood Forest, and then there's Iowa, you know, that famous state that everybody loves.
The worst collision mechanics I've ever seen in my life. The
Oh, it's a
worst,
64
the worst
game,
render
come on.
distance. The worst render distance I've ever seen
Keep
in
in
my
mind,
life.
64.
But it's bad for 64.
No,
it's
it's
awful.
Did
for
you see all the
64.
JPEG people, though?
so I was
The JPEG people were amazing.
because I played this game back when I was young, and I always took the game as like you're playing as car, like you had toy cars. Because I mean, the cars didn't look
They
realistic.
look like a toy car.
But yeah, so that's why I always took it as like you're just going on a map, just driving. So.
But I mean, you get to drive through Iowa. You get to see all those cornfields, maybe the meth labs, a little in the
It's
distance.
Nothing more patriotic.
You gotta drive through that meth lab?
I
No,
mean,
it's off in the distance.
that would be pretty bad. I hear they're explosive.
And then there's Chicago, which is awful. It's the worst level. Just every street's a 4-lane street.
You get shot at in Chicago?
Okay, that's kind of dark, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my meth lab show was kind of funnier, but I mean, whatever. And then I think Chicago just teleports you to DC.
Because there's nothing in between there. Wow.
There's absolutely
There is
nothing.
literally nothing.
There's Ohio.
You go through Ohio, and
Cleveland.
Indiana,
You
Pennsylvania.
know, they might be in there. I don't remember. I've only
That's
played
in
it a few
Pennsylvania,
times.
I'm sorry.
It's a state.
I don't know my geography.
It's in there. No, Pennsylvania's in there on your
Is
way to
it?
DC. It'd be a little weird, but you could touch Pennsylvania on your way to DC. But
I just want to add out you unlock new cars.
cool.
You level up your car by basically winning the circuit with that car, and the unlock is it's now a fruitier shade of color, and you go a little bit faster.
That's just amazing.
Wow.
Oh my god. The
It
next
was groundbreaking at the time.
groundbreaking. Oh my god, you get a different color car.
Look, you can drive this silver minivan, or it can be purple.
That's like big rigs fascinating.
Oh, should we rank it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll go first, and I want Aaron to go last because I have a feeling what's going to
Yeah.
be. I gave it a 5.
Of course you gave it a
Best
5.
game ever
I
made.
hope someone gave it some points because I get a feeling it's gonna get nuked.
Let's see. Let me pull up the list real quick.
I would hope that you gave it points.
I gave it 2 points.
All right, I gave it 0 because I don't like driving games.
-5.
Yes,
Called it.
It's a 2. That's what matters.
I just want to point out.
I saved the game.
You did.
How dare you?
You know, here's the thing, though.
It gets to compete with Uncharted 4.
Oh, I definitely put over Uncharted 4.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why? It's so awful.
Oh my god.
It has JPEGs, dancing JPEGs.
Oh my god. All right.
Was it Homefront now?
Yes. No,
No.
it's not. It's Far Cry 5.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
That's right.
I want to talk about Far Cry 5.
You talk about Far Cry 5.
You go
Fucking-
first.
Fucking love this game. I love
Hey,
it.
all of us have played this one, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
I
the
love
first
this
time.
game because I have loved Far Cry since I touched Far Cry 2, and I have been waiting for a Far Cry game to make me feel like I was playing Far Cry 2 again. And Far Cry 5 did it. It is just, yeah, it's the scale. It's the scale in relation to what there is
Wait.
to do.
There's an actual game in this? I didn't arrest the guy.
What?
Yeah.
Did you kill him?
Oh, you never finished?
Yeah,
No,
I
he didn't
finished.
arrest the guy.
No, I did finish. I
he-
didn't arrest the guy and I left.
Did you the secret ending?
The
okay.
cops told him-
Right.
I forgot. I was supposed to go first and say that.
Oh, yeah.
And just to be like, and then be like surprised when you guys are talking about what?
Yeah.
Did
No,
you do the
we
secret
played-
ending?
We played together.
Yes.
You kept shooting the guys who kept failing that mission.
Because he was a freaking jackass. He ran me over at one point. Made me mad. But no, it's a big open shooter. It's about an extreme religious group kind of poking at some of the more like I want to say evangelical, but that's being really, really mean. Because I know people who are evangelical Christians, and they are not like that. But
To be fair, they did call the end of the world.
Yeah, well, yes.
They're pretty much saying that God is coming to unleash
He did.
wrath because of the sins of the people.
Yes.
Pretty much. The radical Christians.
It's very much the people, waiting for rapture. And not the place.
I was gonna say, what's Bioshock got to do with
Yeah.
that? They're in the wrong spot for that one.
Yeah. So basically, you go to arrest this leader, and things go really badly. Unless you choose to not arrest him, in which case you just get to leave. But if you want to play the game, you try and arrest him. It goes really bad, and then you have to go and rescue all the people who were with you.
Yeah.
It's a very fun game.
And then you gotta beat up the children.
It messes. He refers to them, I think, as his siblings, not as his children.
No, they're his little children.
There's also multiple acid trips.
No, they're not.
Well,
No, they're not.
I thought Jacob and John were siblings, but they were Joseph's kids.
I think
They are not.
They kidnapped, what's her name, Farah?
I don't know.
Faith?
Faith?
But
No, she just sort of showed up.
I thought
Yeah.
they kidnapped her.
I'm pretty sure none of them are actually
And her boss
related
fight's
to it.
her whole
No,
boss
the-
fight's an acid trip.
Aaron, the only
really
kidnapping
fun.
that happens is you getting kidnapped.
Fair
enough.
That was
Every 5 minutes.
That was probably
That
the
was...
because you can't
rough.
avoid it.
They got me in the helicopter. I was flying and they got me. Not entirely sure.
That's amazing.
I think I never intentionally did it, but I always loved throwing Molotovs and then having the bear run in, and he just lights on fire. I'm like, oh, that poor bear.
Yeah. No, I just I had a lot of fun, lots of vehicles and lots of goofy ways to do shit. The co-op was pretty fun.
There's no way to win in that game. Pretty much all the endings is you lose.
Well, that's because
Yeah.
Joseph's reading the script.
That is true.
He is literally reading the script in front of you.
I love Joseph as a villain, though.
I don't.
I
thought he was awful because he's just literally reading the script in front of you.
But-
Because there's one scene at the end where he's like, "I can't believe you killed everybody, but I knew you were gonna kill everybody."
So I played this.
like the only
like
time he gets
literally
mad.
back to back scenes.
It's like the only time he gets mad in the entire game. Like he doesn't even get pissed when you kill all of his children.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't. Like he literally
cries.
says
No, he gets really upset, and then he literally follows up with, "But I knew you were going to do that."
But he literally lets you walk away for doing it.
But that's his character. That's the sort of
So
megalomaniac
I
crap
play
that
as a
would happen.
female character,
I did too.
and at the end, even though it's not set up, it really seems that they could go away because I think you're supposed to be a male character, but they're like, hey, you can play as a female.
I think it works either way.
I don't think it matters.
And at the end, Joseph's like, I guess it's just us two.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
gets
"Oh!"
real awkward.
That's the apocalyptic ending, isn't it?
Yes.
I think the best thing is I co-op this with Brennan, so we did the final mission together.
Oh boy.
And so everybody gets loaded up into a truck, all the main surviving characters at that point, except for the co-op companion.
What, really? He just gets left behind?
No, they don't get left behind. They get a buggy.
Oh no.
And this thing moves at half the speed as the truck does.
I never played co-op, so I didn't know that.
Oh, it is awful, because I'm just sitting like, Brennan, don't leave me behind. I need to get to the shelter. And I think in the ending cutscene, it doesn't, explain that both of you were there, but I'd like to assume both of you were there.
Just sitting next to Joseph.
And so when I played it, I played the multiplayer pretty early on.
It was terrible.
And so one of the unlockables was an orange head.
Oh god.
And so I wore that and a tactical vest. And I was just like, tactical orange incoming.
Dude, the multiplayer was so buggy when it came out.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was
an
bad even
achievement for winning 10 games.
Yes, on recommended maps.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
it was so bad. It was so buggy, I barely ever won.
You see, Brennan and I just cheesed it. We just created a private lobby and we just killed each other 10 times.
I had nobody to play with either, so I couldn't cheese it. I had to just literally
jump over to the PlayStation family.
I just had to be patient.
You have a lot of us waiting for you. We'll open you. We'll have open arms waiting for you.
Shut up.
Us and our pop collars now.
Anybody got anything else to say, or?
Is New Dawn technically a part of
No.
this?
I
Standalone.
haven't touched it.
Standalone.
Yeah, I didn't really care.
If you can buy it as a separate disc, it's a standalone.
In which case, we get to do Blood Dragon at some point. Oh man,
I would like to talk about that.
love that game. So yeah, all right. Who wants to go first?
I gave it a 3.
I gave it 2.
I also gave it a 2.
I gave it a 5.
Damn.
Jeez.
Wow.
I
Is this
loved.
like a 10? What is that, like a 10?
I loved Far Cry 5.
Yeah, it is
12.
12.
12.
Holy shit.
Because you two equal 5.
I got a 5.
You're 10, and I'm 12.
Okay.
Wow, that's out there.
That
Yeah.
is.
I think
I
Far Cry
never
5 is gonna
expect these games, some of these games to get high up.
It doesn't have to compete with anything. That is.
Is it
surprise.
above or below Oblivion?
It is below.
Okay.
Oblivion was a 13.
Oh. I thought Oblivion was like a 10.
So, all right.
Wow.
But, I mean, we all played it, so we didn't like. There was.
Good job, guys. We made sure we didn't have to debate something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good game. I enjoyed it.
All right.
One thing I will add is they added an achievement in one of the DLCs later to 100%. I think 100% the main game, or beat it on a harder difficulty, and that like really pissed me off because I was like, hey, that should have been a vanilla achievement.
Eh. But you know what should have been an achievement? Killing the Gert.
Yeah,
You don't know the Gert?
I remember the Gert.
I don't remember.
He's in multiplayer. He's a big ass Yeti.
No, I don't remember.
Like there was one level that Brendan and I played. It was the best level because it was on the recommended, so you got the credits for doing it. And it was like Gert by Seaside or some nonsense.
I tried to get like the really easy recommended ones for that achievement that you could just like beat very easily.
Yeah, there's some of them that were so far, like, so open that you didn't even know where the fuck you were going.
But yeah, no, Gert by Seaside was the best level because it's a regular island. And then there's Bigfoot in the middle. And we didn't know about it at the beginning. We just kind of dropped in and we were running around. And then just out of nowhere, he comes in and kills both of us.
I think that happened to me too. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
I have not seen what you're talking about.
Oh,
Dumbass
the
sized
Gert
Yeti.
is great.
It's really unfortunate because I explored a lot of that map, but I apparently did not explore all of it.
Well, he's only in multiplayer, so
Well, he's in multiplayer.
I
That
wouldn't
one's
worry
gonna
about it.
Explain everything. All right.
Now it's Homefront.
Yet now it's Homefront.
A game that America gets taken over by Korea.
Which is the most nonsensical thing
Yes,
on the face of the planet.
it's super fiction. It's not only Korea; it's a unified Korea,
Really? Oh,
Yes.
I assume.
and it's futuristic. It's like 2020 something.
This one I don't think is futuristic.
No, it's like 2027.
It's kind of.
Which one? We're talking about the first one, right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it takes place in the future from.
Oh yeah, okay. I get what I thought you were talking about like weapons and stuff.
Oh, no.
I'm like, no. I
That's
don't
also fiction. A unified Korea.
think- Who knows?
That's. We can only hope, depending on which way it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, so that's all I got is that Korea takes over America.
Yeah,
But
it's got a relatable cast to an extent.
It's also got a really nice, like, 3-hour runtime.
It's very
Oh,
short. It's
yeah.
got,
I
didn't it have like
did
6
finish it.
missions?
You didn't finish it?
No,
It
it
had,
wasn't
like,
that good.
I got to the
He was fine.
Home Depot.
I thought you
Eric?
beat it.
I did beat it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I got to the Home Depot. I thought that was the coolest thing because I'm like, wow, this actually looks like a Home Depot.
It's not hard to replicate Home Depot. They don't look the same.
I'm pretty sure it had like 6 or 7 missions, and they were all pretty bad.
But it had a nice 3-hour runtime.
If I had
You don't get those these days.
If
Only thing I heard
No,
it
you
had that
don't.
was actually pretty decent was multiplayer.
There's
I didn't-
multiplayer in that game?
I
Yeah.
didn't play
of course it
multiplayer.
is.
Of course it is. It's
one
an
of the
FPS.
It's one of the brown shooters. Of course.
Yeah, but the Order 1886 was also a brown shooter, and that game didn't have multiplayer.
That is not a brown shooter. That is very much trying to be something else.
No, it's just a brown shooter.
I mean, it is very brown, but I don't think it was. It didn't look like other shooters, which is the joke of a brown shooter.
Yeah. You could probably show me that. Show me screens, and I'll be like, I don't know what that game is.
I mean, but you're fighting monsters, so at least there's that much.
3 times.
I wouldn't know, but
Hey,
I
let's
do.
talk
I do
about
love that
Homefront.
game.
Let's talk about Homefront.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's throw out numbers. I think we're done.
I gave it a 2.
I gave it 0.
I also gave it a 2.
And I gave it a 2. That puts that a 6.
Wait, I think that's the first 6.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it didn't hit the point of mediocrity.
No, it did
How's
not.
I'm disappointed in you guys.
Dude,
I'm disappointed in you, so shut the fuck up.
You know, go fuck yourself.
anyway.
Wow.
Now, I am so ready.
You know it's a good laugh when I snort.
Dude, I am so ready to talk about
Oh, I am
this.
so ready too.
Metal Wolf Chaos.
Have you ever wanted to be the
XD.
president in a robotic suit
The
and
president
kill a bunch of shit?
of the United States of America. He says that so much. Dude, this game is amazing. This game opens with you bursting out of the White House in a fucking mech. Going,
Yes.
let's party! And I'm like, yes! This is
I don't think I've
so
ever
good.
seen a game make itself more known than this one.
Oh.
I think the best thing is, despite it probably being at least 2 of our picks for most patriotic game, it wasn't released outside of Japan until like last
Yeah,
year.
and it was the remake that was actually released.
It's so good. Oh, it was published by Devolver, which...
I've never even heard of them.
They do a lot of like
All sorts of
smaller
stuff.
games.
Yeah.
They have like one of the best E3s.
Because
They basically-
most of their E3s are just poking fun.
They
at other
basically kill their
E3s.
host and bring the host back.
Okay, so if this is the 47th president of the United States too, so and he's a giant mech.
He's not a giant mech.
No,
he's a
he's
man inside of a mech.
Yes.
Okay, so who would the vice president be?
The main villain.
Yes.
I know he's the main. I know he's the main villain, but he said he's also a slaver.
No. He's
Oh no!
Okay, here's the thing. The
Oh,
vice president is pretty much... The entire game is poking fun at
Yeah,
us.
yes, I know.
It was Japan's take on what they see America as. And so the villain is the most un-American human being on the face of the planet, which is why he's selling people into slavery on the East Coast. It's nutty.
So
They
very
also
bad.
converted Alcatraz into a cannon.
And they turned a parade into, like, literally taking a giant spider bot through the streets. He is a monster, and it is kind of awesome.
To be honest, the president in the game was pretty badass.
Oh, he's great. I love the fact that he flirts with his secretary, and she goes, whatever.
Yeah.
Just
amazing.
don't kill the hostages. She gets mad at that.
Well,
Also, if you blow up the White House, that's the game over.
that's so nuts, because that's, like, the first part of the game.
Yeah, you come back to it later, and they've installed guns and whatnot onto it, and if you shoot where the guns are, you're also shooting the White House. And the White House kind of blows up. Also, there's a statue that talks to you. At the beginning, there's a statue of one
Oh,
of the-
right, because it's your dad! It's a statue of your dad!
And he's like, don't blow me up, Michael. And then you blow him up, he's like, I'm disappointed in you. And then you come back, and they've rebuilt the statue, and he's like, don't blow me up again, Michael.
Oh my
Disappointed
god.
in you again, Michael.
I'm still disappointed in you, Michael.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh man. Just the amount of times the fucking president just has to tell you, because I'm the president of the United States of America. And it's the same line, the same way, every goddamn time. And I love it. God, I love this game because it is FromSoft, and they just don't care. And it goes beyond parody into like the greatest thing ever. It's the most American thing I've ever seen, despite the fact that it is really not. Because Mecca is not American, but Lord knows we think of ourselves like it's a, to get really I guess artsy, to put it in the most simple terms, it is putting the president of the United States in a giant mecha feels very American in a very Japanese sense, because we are the kind of people that would do that, just not in specifically.
But he has to also be a fat guy.
What? Fat guy?
Do you know that Majin Buu, Fat Buu, is what the Japanese think most Americans look like?
I mean, I don't know.
That was literally Akira Toriyama's take on Americans.
That's terrible, actually. But Akira Toriyama.
When I learned that, I couldn't stop laughing about it. Like what he sounds like, what he looks like, and how he acts like.
Wow. Okay, the sounds like is the one where I'm like, wow.
I couldn't stop laughing.
That's funny.
Alright, well, I am giving my hype on Metal Wolf Chaos because I think this game is radical. Anyone else?
That you pretty much covered anything I needed to say. I didn't finish the game, unfortunately. Like, it gets really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I got to,
It's from software.
It's true.
It's-
I thought it was a good laugh, but like,
I got to, I want to say the second to final level, and then the vice president kicked my ass.
Oh.
Up and down the street.
He's rough.
Because he's got, like, rail guns and shit.
so what is the vice president like? Like what is he is? So you're a giant robot.
He's also a giant robot.
Yeah.
Yes, he also just has a giant robot of his
I
own.
love the way you hold your phone like you're recording us.
No, I'm trying to hide my points from you.
Yeah.
You just have it up there like.
But it doesn't matter if you hide your points now, because it's the last game, and we can, if somebody's been paying attention, they can guess how many points you get into. Anyway, I gave it a 5.
I also give it a 5.
How did I guess that?
Because we got excited when we first brought it up.
You give it Aaron.
I gave it a 1.
I give it a -5.
Oh boy.
Oh.
You knew this
What
was,
now, bitch?
You
No
knew this
cares
was
calling your
coming.
name.
Anyway, this gets to compete with something else.
What is that?
So
a
is that
6?
6?
That's it's not a 7. What if I gave it a 2? That would have been a 7.
It gets to compete with something, I'm not entirely sure what. I think it came up in this podcast, too.
I'm ashamed of you now, Aaron. That game doesn't
Did you
deserve
do
a
that
negative
just
5.
to spite
Yes,
me?
yes, he
Yes.
did.
I don't think it
'Cause,
deserves a negative
Alright,
5.
then I'm a little less salty.
I looked at the cover. I looked at the back. Doesn't speak to me.
That's
I'm
fair.
just saying.
That's awful. At least I'm looking up reviews of our games, and I'm
Oh,
the one.
fuck
I'm the one,
off, God
and
of
I'm
War
the one.
hater.
I'm the
God
one
of War
getting the
hater.
most shit every week, and I'm the one actually
You're
doing
the guy-
research.
Look, it's not my fault I
I've
don't
actu-
have to do research on games I already know about.
Yeah.
Because you've played every game in existence.
I've actually did research on all of them.
He's actually watched me play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm just giving shit to
He
Phil.
can't get past
I
the
know.
fact that it's an Xbox game.
I just like to get very over exaggerated about things.
Well, you can't spoil the joke.
I like to
now
yell
we
when
know-
I'm actually not mad.
Now we know that whenever you yell, you're not actually mad. Meaning you were completely fine
I like
with-
to bring hype for things that don't need to be hyped.
Well, I think the easiest one, Assassin's Creed 3, I like to put it at the bottom.
I don't know why that needs to be a 0. I don't think.
Well, it is.
It is a 0.
Like I was really shocked that got a 0 and
Well,
Homefront
it's
got a
a-
6.
It's a 0 now.
Homefront is not that great of a game.
Homefront's better than Assassin's Creed 3, apparently.
I disagree.
Doesn't matter if you agree or not. The numbers speak for themselves.
The
Yeah.
numbers are a lie.
These arbitrary numbers speak for
So is
themselves.
Assassin's Creed under, is the very bottom?
No.
No. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Mass Effect
I don't
Andromeda
know.
is still at the bottom. It still should be at the bottom. Jesus
Alright,
Christ.
so it's,
Where it belongs.
It's 1, B2, would you pick?
I don't care where Assassin's Creed
Alright.
goes. I'm here with the majority.
I mean, I put it.
I wouldn't call it the best of our zeros.
I
It's-
say Mass Effect's better than Assassin's Creed 3, but that's just me.
About to kick Aaron out of the podcast.
I made this podcast, so
I was
shut the
gonna
fuck
say, it's
up.
kind of his thing.
Yeah.
We're kind of in his house.
Yeah.
How dare you say that?
You-
I'd put it above Mass Effect Andromeda, but that's about it.
I'll go with that.
If that's majority rule, then I'm going with it. Because I don't care. It's in the pile of zeros. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mass Effect will stay at the bottom.
Oh, we'll find something.
We will find something.
Yeah. If we get
Alright,
Ride to Hell,
what was that?
then
Alright, so
that probably will.
let's
No,
do
it
it.
will not. I think we all know that will not be a 0.
I'll put
no matter how hard
Are
you
we
try.
really going to give that a 20?
I'll put Homefront under Metal Wolf Chaos. Is that fair?
No.
What?
You'll put Homefront over Metal Wolf Chaos?
Oh, sorry. No,
I was gonna say, wow.
I was like, wow. Okay.
I misheard. No, Metal Wolf Chaos should be above
What did Metal Wolf Chaos get? 6?
6.
Oh, yeah.
Just underneath our point of mediocrity.
Yeah.
Because of spite.
Yep. Which it's
We've
fine.
all done Spite, haven't we?
No.
I've been. Everything's apparently been interpreted as spite.
I did Spite for God of War. You did Spite because I'm Finn.
I haven't spited yet.
What's the?
I know it's coming. So we got Cruisin USA, which is the 2.
I think
Yeah.
that's...
versus Uncharted 4.
I put Cruisin over on.
I would also side with Cruising. It's got JPEGs.
Uncharted 4.
It's got dancing JPEG ladies.
Uncharted 4 is polished and
Does
better.
Uncharted 4 have dancing JPEG ladies?
It could with mods.
Yeah, but that's not the base game. Besides, Cruisin USA came out like at least 15 years before.
96, I think.
Okay, so 20 years.
Let's put it above.
20 years, it had Dancing JPEG ladies.
Okay, but it's still a 2, so I don't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
less than average.
You still sound like
Take
you
it.
care. You
All right,
care
so Far Cry
immensely.
5 it's by itself, right?
Yes.
That's
at
what-
12.
All right, so then we got the fucking hardest one,
Or 7.
our 7th.
We're gonna get a 7 every week.
And which one was 7? Was that Call of Duty?
Yeah.
What's Call of Duty?
Call of Duty World at War. So, Wetrix shall remain at the top of our mediocrity. We then have God of War 4, Perfect Dark, Red Dead Redemption, Yakuza 4, and Banjo Pilot.
Put it above Red Dead.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking too.
That feels really mean.
Well,
Like-
it's not better than Perfect Dark.
No, but I don't.
I do think it's a better shooter than Perfect Dark.
So it's perfect. It's better than Red Dead. That's what he's saying.
It is what you're saying.
Technically, yeah, it is.
Wow.
That's tough for me. I don't know, because I'm the only one here that's really actually played it besides Phil.
I mean, I beat it, which is more than I can say for a lot of the games. I just didn't really like it.
Was Nazi zombies built into the game?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what's got over Red Dead. Red Dead had to do DLC for zombies.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay, I would put it over
Call of
Red
Duty
Dead.
had zombies from the base game.
I would put Call of Duty over Red Dead.
all right.
I'm a great negotiator.
We're not worked. World. And that is a 7.
That's the hardest part of the podcast, is going to be the point of mediocrity. 'Cause we're just gonna have
Well,
so
if we
many
stop
sevens.
getting 7s,
Where did we put us at?
Y'all, somebody
Oh.
who gave Call of Duty a -5? Somebody did.
nobody did.
I didn't.
Somebody gave it a 0. I gave it a 5.
I gave it a 0.
I
Aaron
gave it a
gave it a 0.
0.
You
That's
gave it a
why.
5, and he gave it a 2.
What?
0, 0, 2,
Did you
5.
not give?
I did not give Call of Duty World at War any points.
Oh, then did you give it a 2?
I think so. I
Oh.
deleted my points.
You gave it a 5.
Yeah.
He gave it a 2.
Okay, I got my who gave it a 2 wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
That's fine.
That's going to be the hardest part.
I'm gonna go commit Sudoku.
What's going to happen when we get to like week 15 and we just have like 100 games?
At that point, I think we'll do like what he said, where we'll have like a monthly roundup,
Right.
where we'll go, all right, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
This is the full list, and then at some point we'll like dedicate an entire podcast episode to reading the list. So do we still want to go through the whole list? I think there's still enough.
If you want to.
All right.
There's what, 32 games now?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the top with 14s is Mario Odyssey and Smash 64, and 13 following that is Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. Below that, our newcomer Far Cry 5 with 12.
That's just so funny.
Well, nobody dunked on it, that's the problem.
RE3 Remake is below that, and 11. 8 Eyes and Fable 3 with 9s below that. Bioshock 2 and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl with 8s. And then we have the Sea of 7s, the Sea of Mediocrity in Wetrix, God of War 4, Perfect Dark, Call of Duty World at War, Red Dead Redemption, Yakuza 4, and Banjo Pilot. We have our new slightly below mediocre, fucking Metal Wolf Chaos, such a travesty, and Homefront with 6. Followed by
I'm so glad.
our relatively large number of 5s, Final Fight, Pacman Party, Tales of Berseria, and State of Decay 2, our Lonesome 4 and Octo Dad, Deadliest Catch, I believe, our Lonely 3 and Shadow the Hedgehog, as he should be always alone.
Can't believe it.
Our two
He's
twos.
got an anime girlfriend.
I don't even want to know. We have our 2 2s, Cruisin USA and Uncharted 4. Our one singular one in Naughty Bear. You're welcome. And
That would be a 6 right now.
and our also relatively large number of 0s, Persona 2, Innocent Sin, Mega Man Soccer, Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 3, and Mass Effect Andromeda and
As it
Bond.
should.
So the way I'm looking at it, we're going to have to organize the point of mediocrity and the point of shit.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
Well, but the 5s are also growing, which is a concern.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if people didn't keep dunking on things, we'd get higher numbers.
Yeah, but the -5's fun to throw around.
Not when it's your favorite game.
I feel bad that I dunked on Wetrix, but I'm glad that Wetrix is the top of the mediocre. That's kind of fitting. Despite the fact that the game is surprisingly good and has some really weird ports. Alright. So...
Is it time to ramble for half an hour?
If we've got stuff to ramble about...
Alright, well, I'm going to start the timer. I'm going to slip away for a little bit.
Alright. I got a couple things. So, if anybody listens to game media, you might have heard the name Andy McNamara. He did work at Game Informer. He worked there for 29 years, almost the very beginning of Game Informer.
Damn.
And if everybody knows what Game Informer, they're owned by GameStop. And GameStop's not doing too well in business.
Good for them.
I wonder why.
So I think it was last August when Gamescom was around, there was an actual guy who got laid off in Germany. And so there was probably about, I think they laid off 7 people.
Okay.
And they hired one person, but they never really, went back to full staff because, like I said, GameStop and the Game Informer magazine's not selling as much. That's basically physical media is not doing as well as it used to. Mm-hmm. So another guy left, and so they never really brought anybody in. And this is a pretty big move from the guy who was almost the founder of Game Informer. So Andy has stepped down. He's going to stay in the game media, but he's moving to LA. So I guess he's going to be doing something. And the reason I bring this up is because when he left, it was they say it's happenstance that 2 other people have left within that week. They're like, oh, it's just a coincidence that. So it's like the writing's on the wall that probably Game Informer is going to be probably by the end of the year probably shut down. That's just my theory, my opinion. I don't know. I hope not because I really like listening to them. So that's all I got for that one. This one's basically for me, but Fortnite exits early access. It's now an official game. Woo! After 2 years, billions of dollars spent in the game.
Jeez, for how much money they made, shit, they could probably make a sequel.
I hope they don't.
I don't even know what kind of sequel they'd even make. They have their own,
They have Save the World, but they haven't really done much with Save the World.
Isn't Epic Stores for PC, isn't that theirs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
It's not great.
Yeah, I heard it's really bad.
So there was a game that was that was going to be on Epic Store, and I don't have a Steam account. So it's like, well, it's a free game. I'll download the Epic launcher since I have Epic account with Fortnite and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I downloaded it, and they're like, oh yeah, the game's not coming out this week because it's on sale on Steam. So they're like,
I've never understood why I don't really delve deep into PC issues, but why do people hate Epic Games as opposed to Steam? Is it just
it was a very rushed, very poor shop. It does not, as far as I know, at least to my current knowledge, it still does not have a shopping cart.
Well, that's one reason. I think the main reason is because a lot of people say what you will about Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. They are. You're going to come to our system for exclusives. The PC has always been nothing's exclusive. There's no boundaries.
Yeah, but you kind of everything still kind of goes through Steam. That's usually the go-to.
Exactly. So now Epic came along and they're like, we're going to make this stuff exclusive. Mm-hmm. And they did catch flack because they did take games that were going to be on Steam, Metro Exodus, and they said Borderlands 3. They're like, hey, we're throwing money at these companies, so we're going to have exclusive for a year with these games. So that's why people are upset. And also with Epic, they have Tencent, if anybody knows who Tencent is.
Yeah, we talked about them last week.
They own, I think, 40% of Epic.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And there's data concerns or something. Like I don't know. Like they get your data or something.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they could. China will do shit.
Right. So I think those are like the biggest reasons why people hated the Epic when it first came out.
It's also frustrating because if the Epic Store was comparable to Steam in terms of quality,
yeah,
it probably would have been fine.
I agree with
but
you.
But it's not.
I agree with you. But was searching for shit on Epic because I just started doing it last week, and I'm like, we can't search for anything, because at least with Steam, they have, it's not hashtags, but everything's like lit, lit up. Like, oh, I want to look for JRPG, so then you click on that and it shows up a bunch of them, and it even has like subgenres and stuff in there. Like if you're just like I don't know if it says blood and gore, but if you're just looking for games that have blood and gore, you can type, push that button. So I agree with you. I don't like the Epic system, but I'd rather create an Epic account since I already have an Epic account than create a Steam account.
Yeah.
So that was that. NBA 2K21 on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One will be $70.
Give me the Xbox Series X.
And
I will never fucking get that right.
That's
I also
fine.
don't get a free. You also don't get a free next gen copy.
Wow.
Ooh.
How nice of them.
You don't? Because I know the biggest thing was like EA. They were like, if you buy this on the PS4, you can, within a year, you can.
Yeah, they're
bring
doing
it
that for
over.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
But they're not doing that for NBA.
No.
Wow. And
Why would you?
I think the only
NBA 2K20 or what? 2K's NBA has always been, hey, how much can we ring your wallet?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And now they're gonna just keep doing it.
So the only reason I bring this up is because a couple weeks ago in the podcast there was a rumor that the new PlayStation and Xbox games will be $70 now. So that's the first game to come out and say, "Hey, we're charging $70."
I mean,
On top of the microtransactions.
Yeah.
I am not going to buy. I mean, I don't buy most sports games anyway.
Oh, I wasn't mentioning.
Yeah.
I just saying that this is probably going to be.
Well, I was leading into
Oh, sorry.
But I am fine with games going up in price. I think they kind of need to, especially if we want less microtransactions. We are going to have to pay more for our games.
See, I agree with you, but I think most companies are scummy anyways.
Oh, they're
and
still
and they'll still keep the microtransactions,
which is the shitty part. But I would much rather pay $80 for a game and have it be like Doom 2016, where it's just a game.
Yeah,
I would much rather have it.
I agree. If it was $80 and it was like, hey, this DLC that's coming out, you don't have to pay for.
Oh, I don't. I'm fine with paying for DLC
Because that's what
as
DLC.
well.
That's what DLC was.
But that's like. I also want DLC to be meaningful content,
Right.
Like a decent chunk, like the Souls DLC.
Are you telling me you don't want to pay $5 so your gun makes farting noises when it shoots?
No, I really don't give a damn.
Okay, fine. You drive a hard bargain, $7.99,
It went up.
and your gun can shoot sparkles.
That's even dumber.
Okay.
I could do that. I could do that in Medal of Honor Frontline with a cheat code.
Have you seen the gun in Borderlands where it makes fun of like, I don't know. It's like, it makes fun of people when you kill him. He had a family. He probably had a kid that was waiting for him to come
I
home.
had not seen that
But
guy.
that was DLC in like one of the Borderlands.
Oh, I just remembered the one gun where it's it makes fun of you for using it.
Oh god.
Because it's the main villain. She has you do a mission where you gotta go kill yourself, and then she's like, "Oh, congratulations! Here's a gun."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, I'm a money whore."
The funny thing about that, I remember that gun actually being pretty good.
And then just every time you shot it, they just make fun of you.
That's kind of fun.
And do we have anything else on the?
I mean, if anybody even knows about it, Evo Online got canceled. I don't know if anyone knows why.
Oh, yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate. I do not understand the complete context of the situation, so I'm going to refrain from speaking about it because it is very much a thing where I feel like I need to be informed to even say
Right.
anything. But from what I've heard, kind of sucks. It's... I don't know. Like I said, I would need more context, but it's really unfortunate because EVO Online was going to really... I mean, I was talking about Lab Zero before. It was going to really shine a spotlight on Skullgirls, which would have been awesome.
Yeah, because this was the year that I think they were still doing like Street Fighter and all that, but there were 4 big games were games that nobody like knows about.
They actually,
or not knows about, but
they picked out games that specifically have rollback netcode.
Yeah.
Which is just a form of netcode that basically it's predictive.
Yeah.
And so it cuts down on lag really, really well, and makes games much easier to play with a lot more people.
Yeah.
It's a big thing in the fighting game community.
Yeah, they did that with Melee. Somebody got the rollback going for that.
Which is insane.
So now everybody's like, oh, well, guess we're not playing Ultimate Online anymore.
Ah.
Speaking of Ultimate, Min Min dropped this week, and I think she's my new main.
Really?
Yes.
Everybody that I've listened to on different podcasts have said they don't hate her, but they're like, this isn't my character.
Oh, no, she is so fun to play.
Okay.
Because I think the AI just doesn't know how to deal with her.
Oh, God.
So, like, they always try to stay far away. It's like, well, that's unfortunate. I can still hit you from over there. Oh, you're on the other side of the map? Well, it'll be really unfortunate if I just shot a laser in your face.
Isn't she really terrible up close, though?
Yeah, she's not a very good brawler.
So she's not a little Mac.
So fucking
No,
Little
she-
Mac and Ganondorf.
She is the opposite of Little Mac. She is very far range. You want to stay as far away from, or you want to get as close to her as possible. Whereas in Little Mac, if you're fighting him, you want to get as close to him as possible, so you can grab him and throw him backwards off the map.
Okay, well, yes.
Yeah.
But...
And then, in reference to Ganondorf, Ganondorf actually, I think, has a poor matchup against her, because he's
Really?
heavy.
Yeah.
She is very good against heavy characters.
So she's quick.
I would need to see
and
that
long
range.
Yes, yes. She also has a reflect move, and it's pretty great. I can't get the timing down for it, though. Because it's not like your normal reflect like Fox.
Does she have an extremely broken move like Bayleth?
Her megawatt arm can KO at like 50.
Damn.
That's
Like a fully charged smash from that. It's probably gonna KO really at low damages. And I mean, you can switch between your arms like instantaneously. I always just immediately switch to the megawatt. But yeah, no, she's really good.
What is she from? I've never seen
Arms.
her before. Like,
Arms.
oh.
The game,
I've
Arms.
never heard of that.
It came out in 2017. It was kind of a launch. It was in the launch window. It was like July,
Yeah, and it was a delayed...
and it was a game. It was like a new take on fighting games, I guess.
It was Punch-Out-y, but it had a twist, in some ways literal, and a lot of ways metaphorical.
Sakurai said arms. He literally meant it literally.
Yes, the game is called Arms, and the
Yeah.
DLC is called Legs. There's no DLC.
If only.
But no, Arms was like Nintendo's first fighting game on the Switch.
Yeah.
It was like their premier fighting game. It was a new IP. It sold 1 million copies. It did reasonably well.
It did surprisingly well for... I mean, I'm on the fence about ARMS because I appreciate it, but I always want Punch-Out. It's kind of a problem.
I got fairly decent at Arms, but then I stopped playing. Because there's nothing to unlock. It's all just like most fighting games nowadays. It's like, oh well, here's everything. Great job.
Yeah.
You know, learn to play the game.
I feel like if I'm going to play a fighting game on Switch, I'm gonna go to Pokken. Partially because I kind of really want to play Blastoise because I'm a tool.
Is Blastoise in Pokemon?
Yes.
in the deluxe.
Oh,
for the
okay.
Switch.
That's okay.
I was so...
You own that on the Switch?
Not.
I do.
That's because you didn't play it on the last one.
I suck at it though. I could not get good at it.
It's not...
Who are you playing?
Cario.
Oh, I have no tips for that.
Yeah.
Gengar, I could give you tips for.
I like Gengar, but I put it in this a couple times though.
Gengar is just keep throwing projectiles until you boost your meter,
Mm.
Yeah.
and then once you get your meter, just activate it and just shoot laser beams.
Can he Mega in that too?
Yes.
Yes.
That is his burst move or whatever at the end of his meter.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, your strat for Gengar is just try to win the first round. If you can't, that's fine. Just try to get your meter full for the second round, and then just drop that.
How do I see Sceptiles and Gengars in the competitive?
I never played competitive, so I played the quote unquote story mode, which was just, hey, there's more people to fight. These leagues keep getting bigger.
Does the deluxe edition have split screen?
Ooh, probably.
I would hope so, because that was the one thing that was missing from the Wii U version. Because playing on the tablet is a disgusting nightmare. But that would make it worth it, because I would buy Pokken and just be like, yo, let's get together and play Pokken, because this game deserves something. Because
We actually do have, if you guys are interested, we do have video, like probably 3 or 4 years ago on the Wii U one.
oh god,
Somebody got curb stomped by Machamp. Was it you?
Probably.
Were you playing as Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the Gardevoir.
Because I was like, it's kind of weird when they make Machoka girl or whatever, and Josh's like, what, females can't be strong? And I was like, shut up! That's not what I meant.
Yeah, and then you were playing as a male Gardevoir. Now Machamp is female, though.
I remember being slightly disappointed that it was Gardevoir and not Gallade, but oh shit, that's the one thing I didn't even bring up. I said I was going to mention on the podcast, and I forgot to talk about it during my week because I ran out of time. My favorite Pokemon changed, even though most people probably don't even know what my favorite
Ring the
Pokemon
bell!
was.
Ring the bell!
In the comments, people, guess what his favorite Pokemon is, and then be wrong. All right, go ahead.
Dude.
You have your second.
I mean,
Go now. Go
there
now.
was a clue. There was a clue by what I said about Pokken and Gardevoir. But yeah,
Yeah, it was Venusaur.
no.
It's Magic card.
My favorite.
It was
my
female Blastoise.
Anyway, yeah, no, my favorite Pokemon was Gallade. Jesus. And I kind of realized that was kind of... It would get into something really personal, but it changed. I kind of decided on Skarmory because I just fucking love Skarmory. It's such a good design.
Did you have a first evolve?
Skarmory?
Yeah.
No.
Second evolve?
Does-
Wish you got a Mega.
I don't think it needs one.
I think you should have got one.
It probably doesn't need one.
Yeah.
It's
is
in the meta. Like, it's good.
It's-
It didn't need one. It wasn't like it's an unpopular choice.
There's a lot of Pokemon that got one that didn't need one.
Yes.
Yeah, but those were like, fan favorites.
I mean,
like
the-
Charizard.
Oh,
Got two.
fuck. Mewtwo!
Mewtwo got two.
To be fair, that one kind of makes sense because it's genetically altered. It can just get things.
I remember when Gen 6 got leaked and nobody knew what Mega Evolution was. They thought Mega Mewtwo Y was Mew 3. all the speculation.
Man, remember when Mega Mewtwo X came out and it just looked like trash?
Oh,
Still does.
God, I hate Mega Mewtwo X.
It's still the best Mega Evolution of Mewtwo, surprisingly.
Mega Mewtwo Y is the best. I love
No,
that.
it's not. Not competitively.
Well,
Competitively, you can slap a Life Orb on a regular Mewtwo and it does just as well.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, but
you can put a Life Orb on anything.
No, you can't.
not on Megas.
I mean,
That's
not on Megas.
Except for
but, like,
Mega Rayquaza.
Yes, which is stupid.
That's got to be stupidly broken.
You would put a choice band on that bastard. That's gross.
And then use one move.
He was-
Yes.
He was the one who got banned from Uber.
From Ubers.
The best Pokemon.
The place where you're not... The place that's like, these Pokemon are too good. No, there was a Pokemon that was too good for the too good.
The best thing is I read on Cerebi, and they're like, the only way to counter a Mega Rayquaza is to have a Mega Rayquaza of your own.
Yes.
And that was it. That was the counter.
Oh god, anything goes is the most hilarious tier of all
Or
time.
Pokemon with Snow Warning and Blizzard. That could do pretty good against it.
Mega Rayquaza would probably
No.
go first.
No,
Yeah.
the problem with that is the fact that
Weavile?
it's Delta Stream though. You have to keep in mind Delta
Oh,
Stream takes away
yeah.
its flying related weaknesses. So it only takes 2 times damage from
Weavile's pretty fast.
Yeah, but Weavile's gonna get torn up. Like, Weavile gets one hit in.
Yeah, it doesn't have really good defense, you're right.
It is.
And here's the thing. If you put the Snow Warning in effect before Rayquaza comes out, as like a thing...
If it's a double battle, bring out a Obama Snow and a Weavile.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Once Rayquaza comes out, airlock.
Yeah, really could not win.
Okay, so Aaron's just sitting there like, I don't know what's going on. Airlock just gets rid of weather.
Well, why do you explain? Explain to the fucking comment.
You're the one sitting there like, I don't know what's going on.
So much.
Oh man, fucking Mega Rayquaza, it's so nuts.
I forgot how broken Mega Rayquaza was because I did not play like any VGC competitive.
Oh, it's perfectly
Gen 6.
legal in VGC. That's the nuts part because it's in doubles, so it can get double teamed, and therefore it's fine.
So do we got anything else besides Pokemon? Because this is gonna be like the third week.
Yeah,
I noticed.
Fans.
I noticed that as soon as we got into it, I'm like, crap.
Yeah, but I mean, it's because I brought up Pokken.
Actually, if you guys are at this point, I've been trying to get Phil. Well, not trying to. But I've been trying to get Phil to do another podcast, you know?
Okay, this is another podcast?
Is this part of the Cornucopia Bros, or is this a new thing?
Like a new thing.
Okay, what about?
It can be Pokemon Hour. I'm just saying.
I have an idea for a podcast that I want to do about Pokemon. And it's only going to have 8 episodes because there's only 8 generations. Which is basically we all pick, because it's literally what I did, where I picked out my 6 favorite Pokemon, and I think it'd be really fun to just pick out our 6 favorite Pokemon from each generation and just spend one podcast talking about that generation, discussing our favorites and why we like them. Because I think
from each gen, but is it like, do we talk about that generation of Pokemon too?
Yes.
Yes,
so like
and you don't
yellow.
move on to the next generation. You stick on the one generation.
Well, we will do Gen 1,
Gen 2.
and
So don't talk about
Gen 2
Gen
will be
3.
another episode, and Gen 3 will be another episode. And we'll talk about the Pokemon from there, what our favorites are, why we like them, and then we can delve into like what we like about the games and stuff. I just think that would be a fun way to just get all the Pokemon out. Because when I made my list, I realized how fun it was to do and how interesting it was.
Well, you can also, I mean, to be fair, you could also continue on after 8 episodes. Because there'll be DLCs, and then you can talk about games.
Well,
I feel like all of our red, blue, yellow lists will be like practically the same.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
For favorites, you don't know the
I can tell you my team right now.
It doesn't even have to
It's
be
not.
a team.
It's not competitive teams. This
It's
is just
just-
Pokemon we like.
Pokemon you
okay.
Like our top 6.
Yes. So it would be like if you just made a team of your favorites, like if you were 6 again.
So he has Snorlax that can spam Amnesia.
Dude, it's fair.
But would you do that as a 6-year-old?
No.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
It's like my team.
You're not picking Pokemon who are good.
You were picking Pokemon you like, which is why Pidgeot is on my list, because Pidgeot is trash in Gen 1.
Why didn't Pharaoh get the Mega Evolution?
Because Pidgeot is awesome looking.
Pidgeot's a fan favorite. Fearow is much less not.
Yeah, Pharaoh has the turkey thing.
Pharaoh looks kind of
the
stupid,
chicken,
but it's...
the chicken head thing.
Okay, like... You know what Pokemon I think is awesome, and I think it doesn't deserve hate? Beedrill.
I love Beedrill.
Who hates Beedrill?
Some people actually really hate the bugs of Gen 1.
That
I don't know why.
was my main. in my
Same with Butterfree.
I just hate Beedrill in Gen 1 where he gets nothing.
That's fair.
Where he's complete
Yeah.
garbage.
He's the only bug to get decent bug moves, and he sucks.
Okay, to be fair, Twin Needle was okay.
But it's on a Pokemon that is not very good.
Yeah.
Which is the sad part. Because Beedrill's
See,
really cool.
I always prefer Beedrill to Butterfree, but I always buy the game that I get Butterfree in it. It pisses me off to no end. Because like I got Heart Gold and I get Gold and you get fucking Caterpie. Like, oh boy, yay!
Alright,
The
well-
not cool one.
Well, let's save the. I mean, we can talk about Pokemon if you want.
Yeah,
If
no.
you want-
We got 6
If you want to save it for Phil's new podcast, we're teasing it.
I would,
Or we can have a Pokemon week.
But
I think it'd be more fun to just do it as a separate thing because I feel like, I mean, it depends. I don't know how often you would want to join in or if you would even want.
I joined in for a couple of generations.
Okay.
Aaron's gonna be the spiciest of Gen 3.
I love.
He's
Gen
gonna be.
3.
I do
he's
too.
That's fine.
He's gonna be throwing hands.
It's my second favorite.
My biggest problem is that I love almost every generation for its own separate reasons. Every time I touch one of those games, I'm like, oh yeah, because I went all the way 1 through 5 by doing ROM hacks and randomizers. I'm like, I love all of the sprite-based Pokemon games.
I'll probably set out on the Gen 5 one.
Really? You don't have any favorites?
You can't just look at them.
I like Gen 5, okay? But it's just...
But you don't have to like
Does
it
it
to
have
be a
the
part. As
attached
long as you have
Pokemon?
6
It does.
Pokemon you like.
Trust me, there's Pokemon I like in Gen 5, but there's just a lot of them I don't like.
But you
that's
don't have to
fine.
talk about them.
We
You can
can-
talk about the 6 you do like, and we
talk
can
about-
laugh at you.
We can talk about the Pokemon we don't like, too. There are plenty of Pokemon in Gen 1 I don't
We
like.
can talk about your female Blastoise.
That won't be Gen 5. No, trust me. I have some shade to throw at Gen 1. Because
Are you talking about the games or the Pokemon?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, it's not hard to throw shade at the games, but it's much harder to throw shade at the designs, and I have some shade.
I
to
think
throw
Gen
at
1,
designs.
I'm not, this isn't even coming from Gen 1, but I think Gen 1 has some of the best designed Pokemon.
I disagree.
I agree.
I think Gen.
I disagree, but I agree with you disagreeing with me.
But I like. I've come
They
to recognize.
gradually digress to making them looking like Digimon, and I really don't like that.
They haven't added a gun. Well, never
I don't
mind.
necessarily think that's a bad thing.
I was gonna say they haven't added a gun to anything yet, but there's like 4 of them that have
Genesect!
guns.
I love Zeraora, but Zeraora defines what a fucking Digimon looks
Because
like.
it looks like one of the Digimon.
But he doesn't have a gun!
Neither does the Digimon!
Some of the Digimon have guns!
I know they do. It's kind of stupid.
But listen, if you put your Pokemon in the PC, does that make them digital monsters?
Yes.
Are they pocket monsters? No, but they go in your pocket. What's that from? I don't know. They're pocket monsters. Do they go in your pocket?
I mean, you could put them in your pocket. Yeah, a Pokeball would fit in your pocket. It'd be a massive bulge, but
Not if you shrink them down, like what they do in the anime.
true.
But most people just put them on their belt.
Yeah, and
Except for
usually
the
they're-
psychics, they just carry them around in the air, showing off the fact they're psychic.
Dude, it doesn't get any more nuts than the Shield guy for the DLC.
Speaking of that, I got an Alakazam with Magic Guard, and it's shiny.
Damn.
Through a trade, I had to trade my shiny Defiant Bisharp for it.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah, I had to do it because I have tons of other Pokemon with Defiant. So I was like, you know what, I'll do it.
Yeah. So yeah, I will work out the logistics of that podcast at some point. But yeah, so Skarmory number 1. To finally cap that off. But I don't know what the hell else.
It'd be really hard for me to pick my number 1 favorite Pokemon.
You don't have to.
I could do it, no problem.
I have so many favorites.
What is your number 1 favorite?
I like
Pokemon?
Machamp.
It's Totodile.
Oh,
I
alright.
like Machamp.
Perfectly fine with that.
Machamp's pretty cool.
I love Totodile myself.
No, I could do it. Gengar. Gengar is my number 1 favorite Pokemon.
Fair enough. I was always proud of the fact, because I'm a bit of a hipster, that my favorite Pokemon was never a Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm a hipster. It's a problem.
It's fine. You know, one of my favorite Pokemon is also a Gen 2, and you're going to be surprised what it is.
We'll say
It's
that.
Oh,
another
save
fucking-
it.
another
Save it. I am very
fucking
interested.
ad.
But,
You won't believe who number 4 is.
You won't believe what number 10 is.
oh my god.
Scientists hate him.
Oh my god.
Fucking
God. I don't even know if Quagsire made my list. It should have. Fuck love Quagsire.
I guess we'll call it there since we only got like a minute left.
We got 2 minutes to...
2 minutes? Oh,
Let's just
not
wait.
that-
Let's just wait out the timer.
Let's not do that. That sounds like a bad idea.
No, they can
That's
just breathe
podcast
into the mic.
suicide.
Just breathe into the mic.
We got anything to bumble about? Like, anybody like looking forward to any games or something? Or-
Nope. I don't look forward to anything anymore.
Can't wait for the Xbox thing to come up.
What's that?
I
I don't
can't.
know. Do you know what it is, Xbox fanboy?
I don't care.
You don't
You
care?
don't care about Xbox?
Nope.
That's right. He wants all the PS4 exclusives on the Xbox. He doesn't care anything about
Yep.
about Xbox. He's just on the wrong system for some reason.
You buy the Xbox and you're like, why the fuck is Uncharted not on here?
Where's my God of War?
You know why I buy an Xbox? For the memes. That's it.
No, you buy an Xbox because
Because you've got 13 years of
your
Chivas
brother
locked into
your,
it.
Your brother buys all the games and you get to take them.
You've got 13 years.
It's actually me that buys all the games. Actually,
Is it?
You've got 13 years of Chivos, and you're not willing to give that up.
Your card. So get out of here.
Well, he pays me.
So he's paying for the games.
I buy the games, and he pays me half the money for it. So
That's
we're
nice,
technically
though.
paying half for it.
Well, that's
nice.
very sweet of him.
I don't think you understand how family sharing works.
I don't, because I'm on a PlayStation.
Unfortunately.
You see, if I want to play a game that Aaron's bought,
Wait.
I just go over to his house, I pick up the game, and I take it back to my house.
Can I be part of your family? I have an Xbox.
No, but you don't have Xbox Live.
It only works with two
fuck,
people.
That's
That's all-
Wait, families are only 2 people according to Microsoft?
right.
It was supposed to be 4, but they
Well,
changed
kick your
down
brother
to
off.
I don't know why that's so funny.
It
It's
is.
just
It saves me money. It's actually pretty awesome.
no. I mean,
No, it's kicking your brother off that. Alright, that's all we got.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on this fun, supposedly patriotic podcast. We talked about Pokemon again because, of course. But
One day.
yeah, one day we'll get through. We'll get through without it. But yeah, we'll be here next week. So look forward to it.
Oh yeah, this is 3 weeks. 3 weeks?
4.
4?
4. Full
Oh,
month.
let's make it 5.
Sure we will.